Happy opening day, and welcome to We Are Live. Yeah. Go Cardinals.
Welcome to We Are Live. It's Chris Denman, Travis Terrell. The opening day in which Travis speaks of is Major League Baseball's opening day. That's a big deal here in St. Louis. We're excited about that. The show, We Are Live, it's March 28th, 2019. Nice. If you'd like to text in, remain anonymous, 314-669-1431. On today's show, we'll enjoy bagels, ghosts, even some crystal clear predictions.
No, it's going to be one awesome show.
Big thanks to all of you for tuning in live on the live stream on Facebook. Be sure to share. I know everybody ignores that part every day. They hate me. They don't do it. They think they're memes of someone getting hit in the nuts with a softball are the way to do it.
That's kind of funny, though.
Nope. Share this stream into your feed. I don't know. That's pretty funny when that happens. I'll give you that. Fair foul today. Lots to get into.
Oh, really? There's fair foul today.
There is.
Okay.
Migration complete.
All right. We'll see about that.
No, it's there.
Okay.
Migration complete.
Maybe my last show.
Heading to New York a little early?
Shoot, if I don't get fair foul, you better damn well believe it. I've never, in the history
Gardner,
of this show.
Go ahead and act fair foul today.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and
all right.
plan TT exit.
I told y'all what would happen. Okay,
Matt
let there not be
Whitener
fair
be
foul
here
today.
every day?
All right. If you can
Who's your genius idea to replace yourself with today?
I've decided to replace myself
I've got this great idea. Jeff Jones could come in. I don't think you thought. I mean, that's kind of a normal thing. Sorry, go ahead.
Ian Bagg.
Yeah, I tried that for like a year. It didn't really.
Okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
It's worth a shot.
Yeah. It is opening day, and one Chris Gardner is here. He's
Somebody turn on the
inventor of the carte blanche movement.
Turn on the garage light. I'm trying to see something.
Seller of Cardinals T-shirts, thanks to by Jack. Chris Gardner.
Where is he? Hold on. There he is. Oh boy,
Are you waiting for me to say something?
This is stoic. Here we go.
Good morning, gentlemen. Happy opening day. Why are you shaking your head like that, Travis?
We're waiting.
Thought you were leaving.
Here we go. I'm waiting. Here we go.
You know who would never leave me?
Who is that? Who is that? Who would never leave you? Tell us.
My walnut.
Yeah! Woo-woo! Want it!
This is getting harder to do.
If you're just an audio
I've
listener,
got thumb tendinitis.
I don't know why.
It's from my book bag.
Oh.
Sometimes I'll pick it up and my thumb will get on the end there and it's been bending it back. I have trouble opening the door to my apartment building sometimes. Man, it's falling apart.
Come on, man. Keep it together. It's a long-ass season. It's opening day. We got 247 games left.
Orthopedic surgeon.
Oh, that's not necessary.
Yeah, it is. It might be. I might need a surgery on my thumb.
Just soak it in some marijuana. You'll be good.
I was having elbow issues before.
Oh, just dip that in some alcohol.
I thought I was going to have to get Tommy John surgery from picking up my book bag. And I wanted them to name non-athletic Tommy John surgery after me.
that'd be good. For the mundane injuries?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's the same injury, but it's not from like throwing anything. It's from doing everyday tasks.
Your ass
Raking your yard and feeling a little stressed.
Your ass shouldn't have came to spring training overweight. Maybe you wouldn't have these injuries.
You talking to me or Marcelo Zuna? Huh?
No comment. What a beautiful day it is in St. Louis. What a beautiful day it is in America. It is opening day. There's so much to get to today. So much on our rundown.
That we follow.
That we consistently follow. Denman, where would you like to start?
Because fair foul. Are we going to...
I'm not even...
Do
are we doing a fair foul today?
Movies that are over 3 hours long or... bread sliced bagels, or do we want to just do bread sliced bagels?
I already put out bread sliced bagels.
Bread sliced bagels. On the rundown that I'm supposed to follow blindly, there's both.
All right,
I'd like to bring this up.
I'm done.
I'd like to, you're gonna slam a beer?
I'm out.
You're gonna slam a beer?
You guys can't read anything. Can't listen to anything.
I'm reading what's in front of me.
Maybe just skip entire segments for days.
This is like watching my mom and sister argue. This is outstanding.
Disappointing.
This is good stuff.
Disappointing.
This is good memories.
We'll do bread sliced bagels because why, you ask?
Why, Chris?
You're going to email wall at weareliveradio.com and you can win $10 to Buzz's Hawaiian Grill as your prize. Yesterday, a gentleman, I believe he had to be from Baldwin or Wildwood, tweeted out a photo, a very innocent photo. Gardner, do we have the photo?
Mr. Alec Kropman. It looks like, I don't know what city he's in,
I don't get it.
but he apparently introduced
What's
his
the tweet say?
coworkers. Today I introduced my coworkers to the St. Louis secret of ordering bagels bread sliced. It was a hit. Now, this is an innocent tweet. I'll be honest. It's a very innocent tweet. The guy isn't verified, so it wasn't as if he's a... No, and the reason why
Is
I
that how
say
you
that...
judge people?
No, that's not. The reason why I say that because I thought that the guy, had a large following, hence why it turned into the viral sensation that it did. But he doesn't have a verification check mark. He doesn't have a ton of followers. It just caught on fire, and it went nuts. In a matter of hours, the New York Magazine picked it up. CNET picked it up. PETA got involved. Chips Ahoy got involved. The entire internet got involved and decided to roast the city of St. Louis because of this one particular tweet. Because the gentleman said St. Louis style. It is not St. Louis style, of course. It's just the way Panera cuts their bread or
cone.
cuts their bagels,
Bread cone.
which is fairly convenient.
Bread cone.
It's Panera outside of St. Louis.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. Nevertheless, people were very offended and started attacking St. Louis and the St. Louis food scene. It got out of hand.
And that bothered you?
It very much bothered me. It bothered me in that I got the jokes because, Daddy likes the jokes. But what got me was then people start picking apart St. Louis traditions and delicacies. Mm-hmm. And I didn't care for that one bit. That was a little bit a bridge too far in my book. And so St. Louis did what St. Louis does best. Started threatening the lives of everyone in other major cities across the country. We got together as a city, as one unit, and decided enough is enough. People were galvanizing on the internets and the Facebook socials, and they were telling the rest of America, I will show you an ass whooping.
Yeah, this is what Better Together STL needs to do to get the city-county merger to happen.
Yes, you're right.
It's not try to unify the county and city in terms of what they think or how they should vote on this, but get outsiders to tell us what to do.
Yes.
And then we'll
Yeah.
do the opposite of
yes.
that.
Yes.
And our way to push back is to do the opposite.
Yes.
That should be their strategy.
Yes.
If we've learned nothing from yesterday, whatever the hell happened yesterday, that's what we've learned. And maybe
Yesterday-
they should take note of that so they could formalize a strategy that might be more effective than it currently is.
I tell you what, people were pretty fired up about this bagel tweet. Only thing I was fired up was because it's not a St. Louis thing, and no one from outside of St. Louis
You don't
jumped in and said, we cut it the same way in Kansas City, we cut it the same way in Chicago, we cut it the same way in Miami. Like, no one jumped in to say that. They just let St. Louis hang out there to dry.
Yeah.
And I had a problem with, like, come on,
It's
people.
a problem with the mainstream media.
Get him, Gardner.
Mainstream.
Get him, Gardner. Yes.
Mainstream, I mean, I guess social media is mainstream. Mainstream social media. That's the problem with, I like that. Mainstream social media.
There you go. It really became known as Bagelgate, Chris.
I don't like that, by the way.
Why don't you don't like gates in general?
I don't, yeah.
You're not a big gate guy.
That one's been done and played, so I think we should change it up for our purposes. I like this a little bit more.
Nice.
Instead of bagel bites,
bagel fights.
we'll go bagel fights.
Why didn't you spell it FITES?
I considered that. It was
I
an
think
idea.
you blew it.
Yeah, it could always change.
Not on the fly.
It'll take a few minutes.
All right, here are the
Second hour, we'll have bagel fights.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't the funny
I got to line everything up. It's a whole deal.
the thing about bagel fights that was very interesting, it wasn't just, traditional Twitter users. The brands got involved. Chris, here are some of the brands that got involved with Bagelgate yesterday. You're talking about Budweiser. You're talking about Consequence of Sound. You're talking about Chips Ahoy.
I have that Chips Ahoy one here.
Do you now? Let's post that bad boy. Chips Ahoy had jokes. Today we're eating our cookies St. Louis style. They're pouring a huge glass of milk into the sleeve of Chips Ahoy.
Which, that's essentially what Cookie Crisp is,
Yeah,
right?
that's also true.
And many folks actually looked at that tweet and said, wait, does this work? Like, does that plastic hold
Does
that?
it hold all that
minute.
milk? That's a good question.
'Cause
It
that-
filled up. It filled up pretty well. It is a good question. You got Lion's Choice got involved.
That was funny.
That was good.
I do think By Jack needs to make a T-shirt immediately, just called Slice Lewis, and then have the bagel.
That's a good
slice.
point. I like that.
Yeah.
Sister of the show, Alexis Zotos, was involved. Tony Messenger was involved. PETA was involved.
Tony X spoke up.
Tony X spoke up. CNET spoke up. I'm surprised the St. Louis Hollywood contingent.
PETA's was kind of a womp womp.
Yeah, theirs was kind of an
They had to get in
airball.
a vegan
Yeah.
schmear or cream cheese reference. So it was kind of,
Right.
You kind of, the idea was there, but you kind of ended on a dud.
Yeah. So the
They've been
entire
known to do that, though.
yeah, that's PETA.
So,
Perez Hilton got involved. It was just
Forgot about Perez Hilton until you just said that.
Every time
the
he says
Nerdist
that-
got involved.
How did you not do anything yesterday? Make some.
Did you unlock your Twitter
dream-
account for this?
Yeah, your dream is to be viral.
I did. I got involved yesterday.
Did you make a video or something?
I did not make a
Well,
video.
then you missed out.
Well-
This was your chance, right in your city, right in your grill, and you took offense to kind of how the conversation went after the tweet.
Yes.
That was right in your wheelhouse.
I sent out a tweet that essentially said, I don't know how this all of a sudden became a St. Louis thing because one guy, white guy, of course, said that it's a St. Louis thing. And then all of a sudden the entire city now has to defend that this isn't a St. Louis thing. I didn't understand how it went from just one person and one example. And then, of course, you generalize an entire city's
Well,
approach
it probably
to eating
doesn't help
bagels.
that you get it at St. Louis Bread Company. Is where you get it done, right?
Right.
So that's probably how it
So
gets
does this
labeled that
stem
way.
from?
But I did go viral yesterday.
My uncle used to. His thing was to bring a loaf of Panera bread. He's home cooked everything to Thanksgiving and everything else, and he was the guy who kind of, maybe he walked out with the rest of the tequila bottle that was purchased by someone in their home or
Gotcha.
something. But it was always funny. He's like, "Don't forget the bread," and he would always, I guess, because it was open or something, and it was near where he lived. He'd show up at whatever holiday it was with a sliced up whatever loaf. Isn't that kind of where it would start, right? Like if you had some
You
kind
would
of
think.
yeah, and then if you're doing it, if you're divvying up a bunch of bagels in an office or something, which that's
Yeah,
what
and
that
that was
place
pointed
is for.
out, and that's ideal for
Yeah.
that kind of
But that's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, I get the jokes, but at the same time, is that not convenient for
And others-
an office setting that
yeah,
you would?
and it's not just the office setting. Others pointed out as well that, like, if you get a certain style of bagel, maybe the toppings are on the top and not on the bottom.
Right,
So if you slice it that way, you're
You're
getting
missing out.
toppings on every
right.
bite. Then
Here's what happened.
so there was a lot of reasons. So just
And I
Not
think it
really.
honestly took off because we look at a city like, say, New York as the bagel capital of the country.
why is that?
I think we're
Because-
Bagel Town, USA now.
I
think
wouldn't
that's
go that
official.
element. That may be actually the case, but I think because people in New York are incredibly sensitive when it comes to their food, so they were projecting. So a lot of these brands are located in New York.
I
so
thought
it
you were
kind
going to
of-
say it's because of what I'm 2% of live there.
No, not at all. I think that New Yorkers,
Sure
when it
sounded like
well,
that's
I
what
think
you
there
were
are certain cities when it comes to their food or their known food, they get very sensitive about. So New Yorkers are very, into their bagels.
Like
so if
St.
they,
Louis?
yes, but New York has that. We're New York. This is how we roll. You do it our way, or you're an idiot.
How do
and
they say
so, yo,
Okay.
yo, hey, Statue of Liberty. I'm walking here. I'm getting my New York accent down, and I have 5 weeks left, so I think I'm doing pretty well. Fact of the matter is, we were just trying to help I think that guy, he wasn't causing any harm. It was a simple suggestion. He went a little bit too far with the St. Louis style. But what did we do as a city to have everybody just come at us like that? Especially the city to the west that certainly is in no position to be saying anything about anyone, and that's you, Kansas City.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, it is camera 3 rant time. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Listen here. Y'all sit up here and talk about that sweet and sour ass barbecue all day long, and your bum ass city with no statues or monuments of anything to talk about. Stupid ass sports stadium somewhere located out in the county. Your airport is in Iowa.
That's a good
And you
point.
got the nerve to sit up here and talk about somebody's food. Basic ass barbecue that you can get in an alley somewhere on Kings Highway here in St. Louis. Get the hell on out of here. Dumbass city. That's why you're called Kansas City. Because you're dumb. Because you picked a dumb state to name your city after.
Gray State?
Beside the point. Go Cards. That was the thing that really got under my skin. All these
Bothered
Kansas
you.
City personalities up here talking out the side of their neck. Like you ain't living in a bummer city in the Midwest. Got they nerve. Got your nerve.
Wichita?
Yeah, that's also up there. But that is considered Silicon Prairie.
Not a fan of Wichita.
Yeah. It's a nice city, though.
No. Terrible city.
Really? I did go viral yesterday, though.
How did you go viral?
So one of my friends, he tweeted, "No one wants to taste is a St. Louis style ass beating."
So your friend said something.
And then
funny.
I retweeted, "A lot of folks are about to learn why this STL is the Golden State Warriors a crime." 28 retweets. 28. Pretty good, yeah.
How many likes?
29. Right?
Wow,
Viral.
wow.
That's viral?
That's not.
I mean, if you think
That's
about
a
like
nice. That's a nice tweet.
that's like a measles outbreak.
I got like 200 likes for pictures of Forest Park with snow in it.
Yeah, but you know you're
cheating.
But that is cheating. That's
That's not cheating. That's pandering.
yeah. What were your overall thoughts? Like, because a lot of people were like, St. Louis was really serious about this. Like, no, we enjoy the jokes, but a lot of you guys are projecting. A lot of you guys are taking shots at the city because there's an opening. I get the jokes
that
about
was-
the bagels,
that was apparent.
but then there were people who were like, your AIDS and your STDs. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Yes, we are top 5 in STDs. We work hard on that.
To get that or to avoid that?
Exactly. So,
Okay.
but if it's one thing my city does know, it's violence. And like Cersei said in Game of Thrones, Chris,
Gardner, you know this quote?
We'll find out.
I choose violence.
I do not know that
But that's
quote.
why you would love this show.
not.
That's one of the baddest ass lines in the history of cinema and
Seriously?
television.
Top of your
Yes.
top of your heads. What else do we do best here in St. Louis or our way?
Oh, our way?
I suggested we ride bikes a certain way. Lime bikes ending up in the Mississippi River.
That happens.
That is
That
ours.
happens. If that's one thing we do well is throw things into a river. We do that better probably than any other city.
I think we are probably the electric scooter capital of the Midwest.
Oh, I like that
I'm going
one.
to say that. I'm going to state that now. We love renderings.
We love oh
Yeah,
my
we're
god.
big rendering city.
You wanna that's what better St. Louis is missing. They should just make
What?
renderings of the entire area, and people are like, oh, okay, maybe I can get behind this unification project.
Like if you see it from above, we're
Yes.
actually one system, like an
Yes.
like arteries to a heart.
Yes,
Yeah, and the heart is the arch.
Ooh, that's good.
I think
Well, I would go Forest Park, but I know what
Of
you're
course
doing.
you would.
Yeah.
what were I say our parks are top 20.
Based on what? No, I like what you're saying, but it just seems like you're making something up.
I am.
Okay.
I would say our beer scene is top 10.
Okay.
I'd say our food scene is top 15.
Yeah.
I will say our artists, and I mean actual artists, musicians, comedians, creatives. I would say we're a top 20 city.
Okay. That's good for market size.
But that's what I'm saying. I think like when people say these things about St. Louis, I think if you took a 40,000 foot view and you actually compared it to other surrounding cities, St. Louis is still a top 20, top 25 cities in things like cost of living, entertainment, just health and welfare, things like that. I still believe St. Louis is a top 25 city in that regard, especially in regards to cost of living. Like, you can get your bang for your buck, I think, here and maybe Austin, Texas, where you can get the most for a little.
Austin's cost effective.
Yes, and they have no state tax, so that helps as well. But you've been to Austin. You've traveled as much as I have. So give me an assessment.
Saw Perez Hilton in Austin.
But what
Did
would
you?
Drunk as a skunk, jamming a burrito down.
Oh
the
yeah,
Really?
That's a,
Two Perez
Allegedly.
Hilton.
Allegedly, drunk
Allegedly.
as a skunk.
Thank
I mean,
you.
he couldn't say his name and he was slobbering on himself.
See, Austin.
And half a burrito was going on this side of his face, and the other one was kind of going in his mouth.
When you were in Austin, I half expected you to say you were there for a concert and we're seeing, like, I don't know, Jason Isbell in a concert or something like that.
It was a little before. What's his face? Drive-by Truckers may have been there, which Jason Isbell was part of at a certain point, but I don't know if he would have been part of that. Met Thurston from Sonic Youth, had a vegan grilled cheese.
back on topic. Focus. We're defending our city right now.
Lemmy from Motorhead.
Relax.
Aw.
Poor
Yeah.
Lemmy.
R.I.P.
Didn't you kill him too?
No.
Okay,
Probably.
just checking.
Bobby Dorr was the most recent one, I believe.
Ah, gotcha. But you guys have obviously lived in this city long enough to be able to defend it soundly. What do you think St. Louis gets a bad rap for that they shouldn't? Because that's what I kind of felt like yesterday. Like, I'm happy to own up to the crime. I'm happy to own up to the
I think it's
STDs and the
simple.
division and the racism. I can own up to that because those things are facts. But when you start making up ish about my city, then I kind of feel a certain way about it.
I mean, baseball's starting today, right?
Yes, sir.
We'll get into it, I'm sure, whenever we have the first Cubs card series. But, I mean, Chris Bryant saying the boring thing. Just, you can find things to do around here.
He was just mad that one of the weekends he was playing here that Rascal Flatts wasn't in town. 'Cause he's a Rascal Flatts
and
guy.
then he found out there was going to be no restaurant.
Right, and he said, "Let's roll."
No, no,
Do it, Travis.
No.
Do the steering wheel.
no.
It's fun.
No, I don't want to.
It's fun. Look at how much fun.
So yeah, okay, Chris Bryant may have had a point there, but outside of that, I lived in the city long enough, and I know a lot of
You're
the times.
agreeing with Chris Bryant?
No, but I think a lot of times some of the institutions get attacked, and sometimes justifiably so, but the people are never acknowledged. And I think the people are what make this city as strong as it is.
Oh wow, is he running for office?
Yeah.
And
Hold
I
on.
wish
Let's-
people would give this city an opportunity. And I will say this, to Gardner's point, it may take something like this in order to unify the city. I hate that it takes outsiders to bring us together. But frankly, this is how it should always be. You should defend your city, defend your institution, defend your restaurants, defend your schools. Get out here and show people that St. Louis is more than a cow town. Okay? We're more than a baseball city. There's a lot going on in this great city of ours. And we're proud to talk about it. So if you think bagels are going to bring us down, you haven't been watching the news. We shut down traffic, son.
We have a friend on the Cardinals team bus currently, and I'm efforting a quote from the players on the bagel mess. I asked specifically specifically for Mr. Wong to tell us how things would work in Hawaii.
I think that is an important question to ask a bunch of guys who are getting set to play the first game of the year after their organization has missed 3 consecutive playoffs
I
and
think
people's
Chris has a
jobs
good nose
are
for
on the
journalism
line.
here, actually.
Jesus Christ! Don't do this,
Don't
man.
comment on my live stream and expect me not to do a little journalism.
It's happening.
I think this is.
Do you see this jacket? All I need is leather patches on the elbows, and I'll be
You
taken
get a
quite
jacket
seriously.
like that by just sitting back and not having a nose for journalism,
That's a
Travis?
good point.
And
That's a
my
good
nose
point.
twitches uncontrollably.
That is a
You know
nice
why?
jacket.
It's always sniffing for the next lead.
There you go. Look at you.
I thought we
Brought
were
that
going to have
back
to do
around.
another intervention.
Oh boy, Woodward and
I'm
Bernstein.
upset with myself for not doing the cocaine.
What?
I've got the perfect.
Where is this show headed now?
And you even said it like Travis would.
Yeah.
The cocaine.
I've got the perfect
God.
twitch for it.
Well, you forgot. Yesterday, I'm at the gas station at Kings Highway.
I thought you were going to talk about the me almost quitting the company yesterday.
He did. It was his intervention yesterday.
No. What with Gardner? I was almost forced to resign due to Gardner's actions and the lack of action on.
All right, let's do two. All right, we got one story at a time. Let's start with your gas
love
station.
this is the most amazing thing ever. I love this. I love watching him try and steer through this. This is the happiest I could possibly be.
I might delete the rundown mid-show just to see what happens now.
No, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me, Gardner. So to your point, you're in the gas station.
Kings Highway in Del Mar, and I'm paying and I'm coming out, and I notice a guy is kind of like shadowing me a little bit.
Oh.
And I'm like, all right, whatever. So I'm like, he made eye contact a couple times.
Oh,
and I'm
wow.
like,
Okay, now it's getting weird.
I'm like, all right, he's going to come ask me something at some point. So as I'm walking out, he holds the door for me, and then I'm walking by. He's like, you get high?
Oh.
Yesterday this happened?
Yeah.
Oh,
yesterday.
dear.
And I'm like, no, I'm good.
There you go. What did you say? I'm good.
I
You
said,
didn't freak
"Pish,"
out like a
I said,
certain host of
"Pish
mine.
Posh. I forgot the line.
There we go.
Yeah.
Ah, damn it, Gardner. We just went over
I said,
it.
no, I'm good. I don't really do that stuff. I think so. And he's like, oh, because if you get high, he's like, I got heroin for $50.
Oh, okay.
Where was this at?
Kings Highway in Del Mar.
Can I get this man's name?
don't
I'm going to
know.
narc on him.
I'm like, I'm good. That's kind of a.
I feel like
Yeah.
you're profiling, Mr. Drug Dealer.
So I'm like, and then he just hopped in his car and took off.
Okay.
I was like, man, yeah, exactly. The profile. I'm like, did the guy just look at me and say, this guy might do heroin? Mm-hmm. Look at this. Look at this white boy.
I mean,
At a gas station at Kings Highway in Del Mar. What kind of white boy shows up getting gas here
Hey, how's that
who
for your white
doesn't do
privilege?
heroin?
I mean, his assessment was relatively accurate.
What?
How is it relatively accurate? What
Because
drugs do I do?
I mean, you had a history of doing drugs, so
What
maybe
drugs?
but it doesn't matter. You had the look of a person who's been experienced in
stereotyping
drugs.
me.
People that use heroin are not that portly, my friend.
And by the way, it was a black gentleman
Okay.
who stereotyped me.
Okay. Well, first off, it was his way of engaging the other community, showing that we are as one. We're St. Louisans. And he maybe thought you had a stressful day. Maybe the stress of your look illustrated to him that maybe you needed some help.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, I'm not familiar with heroin prices, but one would argue
looked
that
it up
that's
afterwards.
fairly reasonable.
It seemed pretty steep.
That's, well, it depends that
Oh,
time
Andy
of,
thought you were a sucker.
well, that time of
Yeah.
day.
Tried to take advantage of
And then
me.
he came to you. He was offering a service to you, so you didn't have to come to him. So he probably took into account fees, travel, expense. So
we were parked next to each
allegedly,
other.
I
How
mean,
is it that all of a sudden he's on top of his game?
I'm just telling you something that he may have been trying to do you a favor, and you should not be offended to it. Don't be a snowflake about it.
I'd like to talk with this gentleman.
And there's no need to do that. I don't. First of all, we talk about supporting small businesses here in St. Louis. Okay, so you had an opportunity to do that and you chose not to. That's not how we grow as a city. How can we unify when a small entrepreneur is trying to get you involved in his business, trying to make you a client, and you're not willing to even accept some of the prices that he's offering you? I kind of am upset at you. I'm a little bit disappointed. I am
was
happy you said
heroin.
you're good. Heroin, smeroin, man. Relax.
Just because you rhyme two words doesn't make.
And that doesn't make the argument better.
No,
that doesn't improve the argument.
No,
Okay.
and
I
your
mean-
mother has told you that 7
Well,
million
actually, I
times.
can't say that. Johnny
Chore
Cochran might have
schmores.
proved otherwise.
Johnny Cochran. That's
yeah.
true.
So maybe I'm wrong there.
I'm just saying
Oh,
something.
maybe I should have done the heroin.
Yeah.
Or maybe you could have been like, you know what? I, sir, do not use the heroin, but I certainly know friends who do. May I
But-
have your
you
business card,
don't.
sir? You're going to sit up here and tell me Gardner don't know anybody who can use them?
I bet on his Facebook list he's got 30 people.
Thank
that
you.
probably
I
do.
know people that have done heroin. I don't know that I know anyone that currently does heroin.
I don't think that's something that's shared usually.
Chris.
But actually, that's the problem. They do share because of the needles.
And that's why prices are high as they are.
We are really breaking it down.
That price seems steep.
I'm
I
sure it
was
is.
reading websites you can get
Are
as
you-
cheap for $5 to $10.
You gotta
bucks.
understand
Are you
that.
more offended by he thought you were a sucker or he thought you were a user?
I guess I can't be mad that he thought I was a user.
There we go. He's only being polite.
I understand stereotypes.
See? If I walk
I
into
don't always agree with them, but
Right.
other ones I embrace.
you know how
I
hard
have to be fair.
I go into a grocery store, somebody passes me a basketball every time.
Mm-hmm.
Bounce pass out of nowhere. I'm like, bro, what is this? So I just figured you probably want to take a shot.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm good.
So it's good to know that at least Travis, from what you're telling me, that it's okay for him to stereotype me.
Yeah.
So that I can stereotype others.
You sure can.
Okay.
Yeah. Do it at your own risk, but you're more than welcome to stereotype others. And he look, you could have been, you look like you can also have been an experienced user, but also an undercover cop. So he was rolling the dice.
I
You
didn't
look
have my arms. My
You-
arms weren't exposed, so he couldn't have seen like
Track
marks.
You couldn't have seen marks, but you could have been undercover. You look like an undercover cop,
Then why would he come up to an undercover?
but that's
cop?
the risk that's why he decided to up the price to 50 because he wasn't sure what he was dealing
Now I
with.
feel bad. He must have really needed it.
Thank you. And he wasn't pushy. See, Avon, they'll come to your door and just throw products in your face. The little Girl Scouts, if you don't take any of their cookies, you're racist.
No.
This guy in this instance
He
was
just
like,
left.
hey, man, hard day, right? How can I help? How about a little angel dust? How about a little devil's lettuce? How about a little,
Devil's lettuce isn't. That's not what he was offering.
No, I'm just saying in general. He was looking out for you, and you turned your back on your community. I expect more out of you. It is what it is.
You might be right.
See? That's all right. Hey, Chris,
I'll tell Jess we should go get some heroin.
thank you. Look at that. And that's why you should get out and go outside of South City. Go into these other communities, Chris. Check out what's going on with these other cultures. That's your problem.
I think I'd rather do pills though.
Okay, look. Chris, I know he knows a guy. Look at his nose. Look at him twitch. He knows a few people.
If I'm gonna get addicted,
Uh-huh.
I want to try pills more so than heroin, probably.
There you go. But make sure you buy local. At the end of the day, you want to buy local. Find out where the
locavore.
drugs are
A
coming from.
locavore.
Because you don't want outside drug dealers just thinking they can come in and take over certain territory.
Right.
You want to support St. Louis businesses. So
I
find
need,
out,
like,
hey, where do you, when people,
markets that buy local. I
yes,
need like that market.
Yes. So you'll ask when you meet an individual like you did at the gas station, you want to, hey, man, where are you getting it from? Where is it coming in from?
Yeah.
Like he may say, oh, Ladue, it's coming in from Chesterfield. Try to find something local. But if he's like, oh, man, this is from Springfield, Illinois. Hey, buddy, wait a minute. This is the show me state. Show me heroin.
We're now
T-shirt
down
idea.
to 0 sponsors officially. Minute
Might have gone too
32.
far. Might
show.
have gone too far there. We also have a melee today, boys and girls. Like Jean-Luc Picard on the Enterprise, baby. Engage. Today's melee.
Yeah.
Gardner, may I?
Yeah.
Yesterday, we were sitting around and something happened. And it brought up an interesting question. Would you rather see a ghost or be ghosted by someone you like?
Why did you think of it?
You almost sound just like me. Mm-hmm. Well, apparently, white folks have been attacked by ghosts once again.
Do you want to wear my suit jacket?
It is nice. It's too heavy. It's like a comforter to me.
Does it go with that color?
It's gray. Gray and black works.
Oh.
I think.
Whoops. I didn't realize that was a gray sport.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, you're colorblind. Sorry, Travis. Continue.
So apparently, this family recently moved into this home, and they woke up to their child crying on the baby monitor. They looked on the baby monitor of the child in their room, and they immediately noticed a figure in the background moving around. When they went to check on their child, they discovered scratch marks on the child.
Tell me more, Travis.
Chris, instead of me just telling you, how about I show you?
You want to see a news report on
Why
it?
did
maybe?
you have
Oh,
to?
yeah, okay, that can work as well. Maybe they'll do a better job at articulating the story.
There you go.
Okay.
What is it? Is it real? And what is it doing there? A family in Highland, Michigan believes their house is actually haunted and thinks something is harming their little girl. 7 Action News reporter Alan Campbell went to the home to see for himself.
Why is she so
It
cheery?
happened here in this room as 15-month-old Lily was inside her bed. Caught on camera, something walks in front of
couldn't
her
clean up the
crib,
house for the
catching
news?
Lily's attention.
point.
Whatever it is, the family says it needs to go.
It's almost like she sees something that we don't.
It's an image
mean,
Heather
I
and Josh
see
say
it.
is
Ah!
haunting their home.
It was chilling.
Man, I see
It was
it.
literally a chill down your spine, like that what if
boy.
factor.
Oh,
Is this what I just
Great
saw?
American
Caught on
Race
the
is going
couple's
to be
nanny
good
cam
next week.
video a few weeks ago. What appears to be something moving in front of the
Hey,
baby
man,
crib.
yo.
I freaked out. I stopped what I was doing and I ran upstairs and I grabbed my daughter.
Heather says this so-called ghost scratched her daughter Lily and attacked her too.
Oh,
Scares
no.
us that it could do something else. I mean, there was even a
Why'd she put
morning
a
that I
T in
woke up and I
else?
had felt like something was around my, like someone's hands were around my neck.
Oh, hell
Team of
no.
Paranormal investigators came in and tried answering some of the couple's questions and concerns. Josh's father, Jim, says it may be someone who lived in this house before.
The story that I was told was the gentleman that lived here originally
Is the investigator?
Chris's
committed
friend.
suicide, apparently,
Could you wear
by jumping out this window,
a quieter jacket?
which
Do you
is,
hear it?
of course, one full story down.
The couple says they don't know why this so-called ghost is targeting them, but say they don't want any part of it.
It's not physically just going after her. It feels like it's going after myself too.
I couldn't get an explanation out of it, you know. So
Hey,
it's
man, look,
freaky.
let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
That was not a ghost. That was their dealer, and he was dropping off whatever they tweak on.
That's cold, man. That's cold. You kind of accurate in that assessment, but that's still cold, man. That ain't cool. That was disturbing. Look, look, Gardner, I know we have chastised you over the many years about your obsessions with ghosts.
Yeah.
But I'm a believer.
Yeah, you should be.
We got some Facebook comments.
You should be.
Billy Fat Pants, he's on board with me, man. Listen to that pleather crinkle. That ghost jacket was so loud.
The Mr.
Oh, I don't get.
He
There's
doesn't-
literally a ghost on this
Mr.
screen.
Didn't even know
He
what
does-
the story
He,
was
did, he,
about.
didn't care about the ghost, the scratch child. He didn't care the family was in danger. Chris is like,
You need to be institutionalized.
that leather against the sound and boom mics. Arr!
Triangle Assassin says, speaking of heroin, ...
But did
Watch,
he,
look, just watch the video. Just watch the video.
Deal, as our resident ghost expert.
Gardner,
Mr.
I believe. You ain't got to tell me anymore, brother. I believe what I just saw right there. That black, and now look, I give respect to that family because they responded like black family. Look, we getting out of here.
Yeah, they're not doing let's wait it out.
We're gonna see what it's like. We're gonna bring in. They got to the bottom of it, and I give that white woman credit. She ran upstairs and be like, "Listen here, ghost, you ain't messing with my baby." That is strong play. Look, heck no.
Ghosts can be aggressive at times.
Look, in Detroit, and a Detroit ghost. I ain't trying to mess with no Detroit
Oh,
ghost.
the ghost. Oh, the ghost.
That was not bad.
You got a ghost St. Louis style. We're gonna do that now all of a sudden.
No, we'll give the ghost to the folks in New York and in Detroit. But that was scary. That was troubling. That was. So the question still remains, Chris. Now knowing that you've seen that's pretty hardcore evidence of the existence of ghosts.
Find out he's a video editor, and it might not be.
Damn it, Chris. I didn't think about that.
I mean, I don't know.
Damn
Probably
it.
a high schooler with an iPhone that could
Damn it,
make
you're
that
probably
video.
right. Damn it, Gardner. What's the likelihood? You have seen enough ghost adventures.
You've
How would
made
you
love to a
assess?
ghost.
It wasn't love. It was not love.
Sorry, I didn't mean to trigger you.
I was sexually assaulted
Oh, here we go.
by a succubus.
Oh, Jesus. Fact of the matter is, man, based on that footage,
I've shown you pictures of the
you
scratches.
have seen me the pictures of the scratches. I think you probably did it to yourself on one of your.
The photo you sent me of whatever the thing was in your girlfriend's old apartment, that's the most freaked out
I
I've ever
believe it.
been. This doesn't give me quite the same chills, but if it was in my home and you saw that, yeah, you'd flip out. And of course, you'd be like, everyone thinks I'm crazy. But I don't know. I got to cast some character judgment on that. So
Oh,
I
man.
don't know.
I don't think I've ever done this, if I may.
I don't feel it.
That's racist as hell.
Oh.
Why are you judging these poor white folks? All they want to do is take care of the kids.
I think they had a dispute with their landlord, and they're trying to break the lease.
It's
This is
it's,
a good
it's
play.
not
This is a strong play.
It's
This
not
is-
I think
racist
that-
as hell. That's socioeconomics as hell.
There
it
you go.
seems.
That works.
Yeah.
That's troubling.
I'll say this: Jordan Peele wouldn't cast that guy. That he wouldn't make a movie about those guys.
I see what you did there. What would you do?
Because they're
if-
white.
Yeah, well,
Correct.
I think we
His
got
words.
that point. Yeah, we got it.
Not mincing any words.
No,
It's a
he-
direct quote.
That is a direct quote. And we can get to that later. But the fact of the matter is, if you saw a ghost,
Yeah.
what would your initial reaction be? Let's
I
be
don't-
honest.
I can't tell you what I just don't
I'll tell you
know.
what. I saw that photo that we've shared, the gardener's thing. And
Chills
again,
down your spine.
typically, The Exorcist scared the bejesus out of me.
Yes.
Growing up Catholic, and you're like, this is real,
Yeah.
man. So that I was scared of that. I've never once had any. I do remember some things happening when I was a kid that was really weird, but you could attribute that to being caught in dream
Exorcist
state.
stuff
Still,
still gets me just because I have a friend who's the nephew of the Exorcist priest. Mm-hmm. He's told me some stories that are just
pretty wild.
yeah,
Well, yeah.
just
so
the effects it had on his uncle.
other than
wow.
like being a kid and thinking, I think I was in like a dream. They call it what? Bunch of DMT in your head, jumping around when you're still kind of dreaming things, right? Mm-hmm. That's what happens when you sleep. Like that's why you have weird dreams and stuff like that. So I think it would be that. But I remember thinking there were like some hands. I remember looking behind my bed and there were some like hands doing this up at me. And then I was like, oh, why is my dad down there messing around? That's the only thing. And I think I was kind of dreaming still. Long story short, generally when I hear these things, I'm like, okay, or I'm sure you think you saw what you saw.
No, and
that's kind of how I think.
But
at
that's
the
how it
same
should
time-
be. That's how it should be because if you're going to say something is true, you have to question it, and like any scientific study goes through peer reviews, right? Before it becomes accepted as science.
Right.
And then even then, some people still reject that science. So that happens. So you're still going to have but you can't necessarily get into all that. But you should question things, most certainly. Because, like, if I believe in ghosts, which I do, I can't tell you how they appear or what it is. Like, it could be aliens are really good at holograms. That might be the science of it all.
No, I'll sit here and
So
listen.
I can't tell you how it happens and all that. I don't know. But do I believe? Yes.
I would listen to a 3-hour podcast on someone trying to explain to me the scientific definition of some weird electricity that leaves our form to whatever, and
Right.
there's some wormhole.
Because
and
that might
Matthew
be-
McConaughey's in there screaming
Science,
for Murph.
like
and-
we all consider it spiritual stuff
no,
and all
yeah,
this.
if you hit me with that,
Over time, science usually explains the unexplained. And maybe there's a time where that happens.
right? Yeah, so
So
I'll take that.
That's why I can accept it.
The problem is you have a lot of people that would also, talk to their cat that are telling you they've seen a ghost. I'm looking at you.
but
Kyle.
I do talk to my cat.
Also, Black Sheep wants to know if those folks in Wisconsin were living in an old cow house.
Michigan.
Michigan. Travis, can you confirm?
Man, don't act like half the houses and fesses don't look like those folks' living rooms. Don't y'all need to relax. Stop judging people. Damn. That's all y'all do is judge people. Just a nice little young family raising their child.
House. What are those things called? Barns?
Yeah, that too. Let them folks raise.
What
their
about you?
family.
Where are you? What are you feeling?
I think.
I mean, that's freaky. Think about that. That's your house.
Look, I grew up in the church. A lot of us
There
grew
you
up
go.
in the church.
There
No,
you
but I'm saying is we are for the most part, a religious society. So there are certain things that are not explained that we are willing to accept. So in this instance, I have to buy the idea that ghosts do indeed exist, or spirits in some form exist, and what we witnessed was just that. And so
It's paranormal.
it is. And so yeah,
Until
Gardner's
we find
right.
out it's a video of it.
And then Gardner's right. Yeah, that could possibly be the case. We could eventually discover that this was a whole hoax, or that science can eventually explain this
I
all
don't
the
know
way.
why you do it. I mean, don't you want to just know if something's true? Why do you need to create
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Why do you need to create truth?
Do you think this is the case of creating truth?
No, I don't know why people do that. Like,
I think people want to
just
understand.
boring?
I think just people just want an explanation.
Yeah, but you don't.
And sometimes
necessarily
we
get
project.
you don't get to create that.
Right, but I think just for our own peace of mind, we want to project.
It's at that point that you have agendas, because I understand
Yes.
how that works.
Yes.
Because I believe in agendas. So you create truth to further agendas.
Yes.
To further what you want the truth to be.
And people, a lot of times, they do that out of fear. In this instance,
Like the
I think-
mainstream social media.
Sure. But to the point that I think when it comes to these type of phenomenons, when you don't have anyone that can look, they call paranormalists. Is that what they call themselves? Paranormalist? Paranormal activityists? They came by, they did their assessment. I think we want to be able to call someone up, look up in the white pages and say, hey, explain this to me. This thing is happening. And
Yeah,
so
it's not like you're It's not like an exterminator.
Right.
You don't get to call them and say, all right, hey, get rid of
But
that
who else?
rodents
But
my
in
house."
that instance, when something does happen to your child, in this instance, how do you explain the child's face marks? Like, I think those are fair questions to like make you. That makes me wonder, like, oh, it wasn't just a ghost or what we thought was a ghost in the video. This child clearly is traumatized by this. So
I'd like to see the marks a little closer.
What if it was a bad kid?
it's very possible. A lot of things could be
Not
in
that
play
kid,
here.
but what if a bad kid got scratched? Would you be like, yeah, maybe should have ate your full plate of dinner?
Well, I don't think that'd be necessary to have a child's face scratched up.
Now, who are we saying did the scratching then? Is it a ghost? Or are you saying somebody else did it? an actual
Maybe they were
person?
taking uppers, and that was just the parents moving really fast throughout the kitchen.
So
That's
you're telling.
impressive. That's impressive.
So we're saying that
To be transparent would be difficult.
They're on that
Even
keto.
on
They're on that
drugs.
keto diet. man.
Oh, is that what happened?
That's what it was, the
They're just
keto
fading
diet.
away.
I'm an invisible man.
Yeah,
that's what
Right.
happens.
Look at me. Can't even see me anymore.
But would you rather see a ghost or be ghosted by someone you like? I have never seen a ghost up close.
From a distance?
I've just seen a ghost like on
Have you
TV. I've
seen
never
the movie Ghost?
I've never like been in a room where I
Have
just
you
been
seen
like,
the movie
Oh, I
Ghost?
have.
Only in documentaries like the movie Ghost.
Yes. Because I was into pottery for a long time, and after watching that movie, I ain't
Good.
made a pot since.
Good.
But
So wait, so are we accepting this as we have footage of a ghost?
I'd like to know more.
Would you, if you had to bet, would you bet on the video being real or ending up being a fixed hoax?
that's a good question.
I'd bet on the video being real, it seems at this point. I need to know more about the people's background and
Find out they're like 7-year acting students
Right.
mixed with video editors.
so I just need to know more.
It turns out this is an ad for Tide,
I mean,
right?
Got a messy room with ghosts in it. Get tired.
Here's how
David
we'll
Harbour
clean it up.
walks out.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, I'm back."
I mean, I'm willing to accept it as true, but I'd like to know more.
I'm going to accept it that it was a ghost or spirit. I'm absolutely willing. To
It's
accept
intriguing nonetheless.
Jamie Moyer's Fancy Foyer has a declaration. Most ghosts lived and died before the civil rights movement. Ghosts, you racist as hell.
it. Oh, that's a good point. Good point.
Especially in southern states.
Yeah.
I watched Ghost Adventures go to Savannah.
It's just an old white guy yelling the N-word. It's like, Ghost, you are horrible.
No wonder why you in hell. Look at you.
Yeah, there's a
Just
lot
dropping N-bombs. Man, it's
Yes.
2019.
Lot
Can
of
we do that
scandal.
where Travis gets an apartment and it's hard?
Ghost, you canceled.
Yeah, we going to cancel that ghost.
I'll clap back at a ghost. I'll clap back. Would you
I'm a
do a
ghost.
TV series where you lived in an apartment that was haunted by an old Confederate soldier? But you have to put up with each other. Like, that's the
It's
rules.
like Robert E. Lee.
Them's the
haunting
rules.
you.
Them's the rules.
Somebody's going to pitch this to a studio exec in 6 months. And it's
Done
gonna
and
be-
done.
it's gonna be
Jamie
the-
Crock, email me. C.
yeah,
Denman.
it's
We
going
are
to
live
be
radio.
the biggest hit on Comedy Central.
Sounds like that's a good one.
That is.
Copyright Chris
Travis
Denman.
and General Lee. Go to New York.
A sketchy story about an attack leaving very little marks on the face. Call that kid Baby Tupac.
Ooh. Ooh. I don't
Okay, that wasn't in my head, right?
know.
Uh-oh, what's happening?
We're in a building where they do a lot of sound testing and things like that. So
Oh, boy,
everybody
what's
has that.
happening?
So,
It
okay.
vibrated.
So
I'm
let's
about to
go.
say, it just
Yeah.
shook the damn
Yeah.
room. What the
Right.
hell?
Feel the floor
Are we being
vibrate?
visited?
yeah.
Are we talking too much about
Today
ghosts?
the day. I've been waiting.
All right, so then being ghosted by someone you like. Now, for those who are not familiar with the term ghosted,
Oh, please,
that means
please explain us with your vast experience. He really dove right in like he had a freaking PhD in getting ghosted. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Well, hey, Trav, I can't explain it. That doesn't happen to me.
So camera 3 rant.
I was supposed to hang out with you.
Yes, that's it.
All right, go ahead.
It's essentially when you meet someone and you two hit it off fairly well, and then all of a sudden you don't have any contact with them. You don't hear back from them. They never respond to any of your emails, your texts. I'm outside your windows. And they officially ghost you.
Would you say like you show up and they text back, sorry, it's taking a while in the shower. And then you text back, you're not even home. I'm here. Would you do that?
I'm not saying that you're speaking from my personal experience, but I mean, there may have been situations where that may have happened to me. But yeah, being ghosted, not cool, but it's the new millennial thing to do. People have been doing it for years now. And so, that it's considered rude to a lot of people. A lot of people get upset by it. And then a lot of people are like, hey, sometimes you just got to walk away clean, baby.
So
you don't want any
You
confrontation.
know why it impacts people more so now these days, I think?
Because there are so many means to be able to communicate and still
because
know
you
what's going on in a
communicate
person's
so
life.
instantly now.
Yep. So
And you don't take phone calls and actually talk the time to talk. to
very
people.
true.
And you communicate with hieroglyphics.
Very
Do you
true.
think you could survive as a single man in today's digital dating realm being a fan of the modern phone call? Or the vintage phone call? Excuse
I don't know. That probably wouldn't work out. But
Would you just specifically
just-
date women over 50 that
I
have
probably
their...
just wouldn't care.
Okay, well, there's that too.
Find something else to do.
Rather than date.
Yeah.
I think,
I'll find something else.
but I think that is like it's kind of become an
I'll
accepted.
golf more.
It's an accepted mindset though. Like people are just like, look, we're not confrontational. There's no need to, have a discussion about it. You just move on without any form of communication. It's gotten to the point where it's considered normal behavior now for people.
See,
to,
I'd be like, did you die?
well, that's how I am. I'm a person
Would you be
I'm just,
concerned?
I understand why you wouldn't want to spend additional time with me. I just want to make sure you're alive because I care about people.
It's because she's with, Jerome.
That's probably the case. That's fine. You can send a picture of you with Jerome. I'm okay with that. I just want to make sure you're
you?
alive.
Yeah, you
I'm going to make sure there's an address next to it too.
Why?
No reason. No reason at all. But yeah, being ghosted
What are
has
all
become
these
the thing.
rags and gasoline doing in your bag?
But people ghost a lot.
That's
so,
not the way to do it.
So I don't know which one I would be
There's a better
willing
way.
to deal with. Seeing a ghost or being ghosted. They're both miserable.
Miserable? What if it was cool to see a ghost? What if it was
is it really cool to
What
see
if
a
it was an
ghost?
impressive thing?
Like, is there
What
a
if like a majestic lion?
So what do you do?
walked
But then
by?
if you see a ghost, how do you handle that internally?
Oh, we gonna die? Is the
That's very
internal
likely.
monologue?
Because that's what you have to realize what you're dealing with. Oh yeah, I'll see a ghost, but then the realization will set into you.
No, I agree.
Okay, I've seen this.
I agree.
I believe this. Why does this happen?
That's
why
why
does this occur?
Exactly.
And then that leads you down a path where you end up sitting on a park bench
Yes.
and just wondering about things.
But the same thing can happen to you
that
if
can
you're
be
ghosted.
dangerous.
The same thing can happen to you if you're ghosted. You're
Oh,
going to
that's
be
fair,
left
too.
wondering why. You're going to be sitting on a park bench
But
asking
which
yourself
one
questions.
leaves you more questions, though?
I feel like they leave equally amount. See, I'm an overthinker, so being ghosted really gets to me because I'm like, oh boy, was it something I did? Was it something going on in their life? Did they meet someone? What happened? So I have as many questions being ghosted as I probably
have not
would
gone
for
to
seeing
Vera Wang
ghosts.
Cologne and stayed with Ralph Lauren.
There you go. These are fair questions to ask. So, but I have just as many questions when I see a ghost as I would being ghosted. That's why I'm curious to get everyone's feedback. It's not like being ghosted by your next door neighbor who you weren't going to talk to anyway. I'm talking about if you're in a full-fledged relationship with someone, then all of a sudden they literally disappeared from your life. So I would imagine you have the same amount of questions. If I saw a ghost, I have 20
Nah.
questions. If I'm ghosted, I have probably 17.
If I get ghosted, I understand exactly what was up, and you just move on.
You think?
Yeah.
I don't
I mean, I
know.
can't fathom that ever happening in a
that's
dating
sport code.
situation.
Is that what you would come back to? Was it the sport code?
No,
Was it my
sometimes-
bangs?
Sometimes people move on. You know,
Sometimes
sometimes you need to know that your number was called for a specific reason, and they've moved forward.
When that happens, when someone does make
You were the bad boy.
But when someone does make the decision to move
wanted
on,
to see if
do you want an explanation?
No,
Do you want closure?
no. The explanation's already been stated. I don't need an explanation.
I was the
And
bad
I'm gonna
boy once.
Oh no.
I had an ankle bracelet on, though, and that's kind of attractive.
I remember that.
I don't think that's.
No ass on the metro.
Did
man.
you have a pleather jacket that you wore that crinkled on camera?
No, I don't think I've ever owned pleather.
That guy, he was like, "Oh, I got to get my ghost hunting jacket on." It's like, honey, that one, they always hear you coming. What
Also-
a poor
He
choice.
obviously is not a ghost hunter.
Right.
I don't think.
yeah.
And then that was an
More like
opportunity.
a ghost observer. Like he could rustle them out from behind the couch because he startles the ghosts whenever he comes in. Crinkle, crinkle, crinkle.
You get startled. That's
Oh, man,
how
here
it's
come-
supposed
here
to
come
be.
leather
That's how
jacket,
it works
man.
on Ghost Adventures.
The ghost is
When
like, man, why is he
Aaron-
wearing that broke ass jacket?
By the way, what
Aaron
a
on
great.
Ghost Adventures, here's the sound. It's always the same face, and I laugh every time because it's. All right, make some random sound, Chris.
You good?
Oh my God! Did you hear that?
Episode 13, same season. Ready? Click, click.
Oh!
Episode 27. Click, click.
It's like that every time.
I don't.
Now my hair's
He
all
also
messed
missed a
up.
brilliant opportunity for him to market whatever organization or company he was with. How do you not wear your company's logo, hat, or sticker or button to that interview?
I guess not
How
everyone's
often
thinking
do
about their
Yeah.
brand all the
you
time.
have to? How often do
Some of
paranormalists?
them just go out and play the game and don't worry about their brand and sign a $430 million contract.
Not every,
Sometimes that
not
happens.
every day.
Name one time where that's happened.
Not every day you can get out there and pump up your paranormal brand. That was the opportunity. You had the entire city of
Oh, are
Detroit.
you talking about the older guy?
I'm talking about the guy in the leather jacket.
Yeah, the ghost hunter.
The ghost hunter. You had the
I don't
opportunity.
think he was the ghost hunter.
Okay.
I think he was the father of the gentleman
Oh, okay.
who was saying what he had heard
Oh,
from
okay.
others.
It's
Okay.
like, first off, my name's on this lease. If anybody needs, this is bull. I just wanted to come here to tell you, these dirtbag. No.
What a great way to break a lease, though. That's a great way to. I wonder what the law would say to that. I wonder what the law. If I'm like,
thought
hey
you
man, I
could get
got
out of
ghosts,
it.
my child got scratched up. Like, what does the law say to that? Does the law acknowledge paranormal activity?
I don't think so.
What
I don't
about,
know. It would have to acknowledge probably events that have occurred
If
in the
they're-
house, like deaths.
Because you have to tell people that's a real law.
Yeah,
You
so,
have to actually tell
like,
people that happened.
Murders.
So
or
maybe they
whatever.
can make that argument. I
What
would hope.
about our buddy Birch in the comments? As an employer, I get ghosted often. That's infuriating.
Yeah.
Right after you finish like onboarding of a new employee, which is the most expensive part, and then, oh boy,
And then bam, gone.
just out of there. Okay, so we've got our stuff in. Guys, we've got a great fair or foul topic today. Be sure to email wall@weareliveradio.com. Movies over 3 hours long is not the topic, but we'll read those emails. Bread sliced bagels. Bread sliced bagels, Travis. It's the big topic. We're going to give away $10 to Buzz's Hawaiian Grill as your prize.
Okay.
They do not offer bread sliced bagels there. I'll tell you about Buzz's Hawaiian Grill while we're at it. If you're hungry, if you're out and about in the city, they were out in the county of St. Louis yesterday. Be sure to check out Buzz and his family working the Buzz's Hawaiian Grill food truck. Fresh food, wonderful faces. Go see them. Say hello. Get the poke. Highly recommend it. Grab yourself some musubi. Treat yourself. That's right. Buzz's Hawaiian Grill supports us, so you support them. Travis, Gardner, how we feeling about this first hour?
I'll tell you what, it sliced me up.
That's terrible.
It is opening day, so we'll have plenty of baseball talk. We've got carte blanche talk. We've got a lot to get into with crystal clear predictions. Travis Stradamus might make an appearance. We're going to get some Menthol and Gardner. Take a quick break. It's We Are Live, the podcast you, your mother, and your family should all enjoy together. We'll be right back.